Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Movies Are Real for the month of May 2019. I almost said 2018. This is a monthly movies podcast where we discuss the movies of the month prior and what we're looking forward to the next month. Like I said, this is for May, the first summer month. Right? Yeah. Is the official day of summer in May or is it June?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Or is it April? Anyways, Carrie, you're here.
The first day of summer is actually in June.
Okay, I thought so. That sounds like some dumb bullshit.
I think it's like June 21st.
I was like,
we're on the cusp of summer.
it's probably some dumb bullshit.
Exactly.
Carrie, how are you doing? You're here.
I'm good. I am here.
That is true. Ryan, you are also here.
I am present.
Your
in the
corporeal
room.
body is here. Mentally, I'm not sure.
Well, you know what? I like to bring maximum energy to this podcast.
That is true.
I have committed fully.
May has some big stuff here. And we're going to start off with a movie that I completely forgot we probably discussed the month prior, but I don't remember what it was. So, while you guys explain what Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile is, I'm going to look up a trailer. Go on, folks. How is this movie?
So, remember Bed Bundy?
Oh!
Yeah.
Is this the one where Zac Efron's a hot Ted Bundy?
Sexy Ted Bundy.
Oh, okay. I remember this
And I
now.
thought the bit with Ted Bundy was everyone always thought he was sexy, and that's why.
And I remember you saying this last time, too.
Yeah.
He was like, no one that handsome could be a killer. It's impossible.
Wait, let me... I was gonna... Because I think that this is made by the same guy who made that Ted Bundy tapes Netflix documentary as well.
I don't know.
So I was just gonna say I haven't watched that, so I don't really... I know that they roll some Ted Bundy footage at the end of Extremely Wicked, but I was gonna look up what Ted Bundy actually looks like.
So is this a Netflix motion picture?
Yes.
This is a Netflix original.
Proprietors of high quality content.
Exactly. So, Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, Vile.
He kind of looks like Hugh Jackman.
It's...
If he's cute to someone, he's cute to you, Carrie.
All right.
Thank you, studio audience.
So, it's more of the perspective of, like, his girlfriend/wife. I can't remember if they're married, and just, like, how she's dealing with him being accused of all these things. I'll say accused when, like, it's Ted, but he did it. He did
Who
it.
could say?
You know what, guys? I'm gonna say it. I think he didn't do it.
I love the way that this movie is presented. It's like the twist ending is like, oh my god, he was a murderer!
Whoa!
Yeah, even though it was horribly obvious the entire time.
Even though it's Ted fucking Bundy. It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Duh.
Like that... Like, spoiler alert, this movie sucks. I'm sorry.
Oh.
And I feel like it tries really hard to be Zodiac.
Mm-hmm.
In, like, its style and, like, how it treats, like, the murders. But you know who the murderer is, and you also never see anything. They only ever talk about it, which is very weird to me.
It feels like a choice.
One. Certainly a choice, I would say. But I don't know. I feel like this sort of reminds me of, like, when people thought Pennywise was very hot. I feel like people are just really attracted to murderous people that are actually...
Because Pennywise had, like, the monster fucker crowd.
Oh,
Like,
that's
a
true.
crowd
They're
of
called clown fuckers. Come on.
I mean,
Stop disrespecting my people.
Unless the clown fuckers underneath the giant umbrella monster fuckers.
Yes, but I think the monster fucker community doesn't really like the
Oh,
clown
like,
fuckers.
I don't fucking know. We didn't invite them to Thanksgiving, guys. They didn't get the...
They don't go to the same parties, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, my problem with Shockingly Evil, Vile, what is like...
Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium.
Yeah, exactly, is... I left not really understanding the Ted Bundy case. Like, I don't really get... Like, I didn't learn anything about it. So it makes me feel like, oh, this is for people who grew up around that and want a new perspective.
Maybe.
But then it's like, they know he did it.
Yeah.
So what new perspective? Is it just like this woman
this-
that he's dating and like in
Yeah,
love
well,
with who's
'cause-
just like an idiot for not noticing that her boyfriend
Whoa,
is
whoa,
clearly a
whoa.
killer?
Damn.
I'm sorry, okay? Like, we've all been in love and whatever, but like if your boyfriend gets caught with a bunch of murder supplies and is around a bunch of murders, coincidentally a whole lot of times, maybe think he might be a killer.
I think that this movie is based on a novel that was either written from the girlfriend's perspective or written by the girlfriend about her experience.
I can see that being a better book.
Yeah. But
Because the dramatization just makes it seem a little
icky.
silly?
Yeah.
Just from watching the trailer.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know. Is this picture you have on your phone of the actual lady?
I think so. I don't
At least
know.
we assume.
This is just yeah, probably.
We assume. Google never lied to me before.
I just Google imaged Ted Bundy. Ooh,
Yeah.
it's Matt Mikkelsen.
Yeah. Are people having a sort of Chernobyl thing with this? I mean, like,
No.
Did you know fucking the shockingly Wicked or whatever the fuck is based on a true story?
People don't know that Chernobyl's real.
That was a thing.
Oh no.
Also, we have now, there's a bunch of Instagram influencers who are flying to Chernobyl and taking photos at Chernobyl.
God,
Good shit, guys. 2019.
I gotta become an Instagram influencer, man. That's how it's
Anyways,
done.
please look forward to my Patreon gold tier set of me getting murdered by hot Ted Bundy.
Oh man, goals.
Anyways,
Holy
that's this
shit.
movie. Is there anything else to be said about this?
I mean, the first half is fucking a crawl to get through.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
boring. And then once he gets into the courtroom, it feels dynamic and fun. Because, I don't know, his banter with the judge is good. But from what I've heard from people who have watched the actual tapes, like, the actual tapes are just more interesting. Because it's the real people doing it. So,
And
it
not,
made
and
me
not
more-
Zac Efron and
fucking John Malkovich.
John Malkovich.
But yeah, it made me more interested in just watching the documentary version of this, which I didn't do, but
So did it really interest you?
I
then?
mean,
It made me tell myself I'd like to do it
Yeah.
someday,
Yeah.
and that's something.
I mean, maybe since it's made by the same guy, I believe it's more he's aiming for the people who have already watched his documentary and are now like, you want a fun dramatization of it or something.
Who is Haley Joel Osment in this motion picture?
He is Lily Collins' coworker guy who kind of notices that she's not doing great and then kind of steps in and
Gotcha.
becomes replacement Ted Bundy. Not in the murder way, just
But,
in the
like,
boyfriend
in
way.
And the supportive
sex
way.
way.
Yeah.
All right, well that's
There's some scenes where Zac Efron, Ted Bundy calls the house and Haley Joel Osment answers the phone. He's like, no, you can't call here anymore. It's like, all right, Haley Joel Osment.
well. I'm glad Haley Joel Osment's getting work with this and Kingdom Hearts 3.
Right.
Big deal for Haley Joel Osment.
Fire.
Detective Pikachu does not have a murderous. Well,
you know what?
Kind of. So yeah, they made a Pokemon live-action movie.
They did.
That's a thing.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's a.
I did not see it.
You didn't? You never
Nope.
saw it?
No.
Oh, okay. So Detective Pikachu, for those who aren't informed, is a video game that came out in 2016 and nobody played.
No.
I think it was 2016. It might have been 2017,
I
honestly.
think it actually was 17.
Yeah, that sounds
Because
right.
Because it came out in Japan as like part 1, like in 15.
That sounds right.
And then it was like nothing for like years.
Yeah.
And then the Pokemon company was like, "Hey, here's Detective Pikachu." And it's
Also,
like,
we're making a movie.
yeah.
And I was
It's
like, what?
Okay.
All right, that sounds like a thing that's never going to happen. And, oh, here we are. It happened. So am I correct? Is this Will Smith's son?
No.
I saw Justice Smith, so I don't fucking know. I
No.
don't know. I know he has a son and a daughter. I thought maybe he had 2 sons and a daughter.
No.
I don't know about Will Smith.
No, Justin Smith is his own. He's from a different Smith side.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, he's in this motion picture
He
along with
is.
Ryan Reynolds in Pikachu form.
Yes.
And I think this movie is fine.
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Did you?
I found it delightful, but then again, I love Pokemon a lot.
So yeah, the thing for me, this movie, so spoilers, I guess you didn't see. This movie opens up in a beautiful green field with a crying Cubone. I don't know if he is just born, and so I don't know. Okay, I know he's wearing his mother's skull.
Yeah.
And I like that they reference that immediately in the movie. But are they born? Like, is the de-evolution of? Can we take a side track? How does
Can we
how are
discuss
you
Pokemon for
are
a
you
second?
born with the knowledge that your mother died already, and you
I think the idea is like once they're born, their mother
passes
dies,
away in birth.
and then immediately becomes a skeleton, and then he puts on. The,
Okay, so we are in that moment, I guess, where the little Cubone's crying.
What the fuck?
And seeing a Cubone, so not even that, like the movie opens with a bunch of Pidgeys flying across the fucking
Yes.
screen, and it's all like, holy shit, this is a Pokemon movie.
Yeah.
And those moments were like, yo, that's a fucking Charmander.
Yeah, it's
It's
great.
really, really fucking good. It's
fun.
It's really fun. But the story, and I personally think the Ryan Reynolds stuff just didn't work for me.
Oh, really? You didn't like him
I
as Pikachu?
fucking hated it, man.
Oh man.
His lines they're just like a book of quips. It's just like
Yeah.
it just feels like PG Deadpool to me, and I didn't like it very much. I was hoping I could get over the Ryan Reynolds stuff, but yeah.
It honestly after the trailers, like when I finally got to the movie, it didn't bother me
No.
anymore. If I had never seen the trailers and I just watched the movie, I was like, this is weird. But I don't know. It kind of grew on me, and I just kind of accepted it. There's part near the end where it feels very jarring, and you know what I'm talking about, George.
Are you talking about the end?
The end.
I like the end.
I know what the end is. Someone told it to me, and I can't believe you two are sitting here being like, this movie is good, because that sounded like the stupidest fucking ending I've ever heard in my entire life.
To be fair, it's like an 80s. It feels like a dumb 80s movie.
Stupid.
I'm not saying
No. It's fine. It's fine.
Stupid.
I feel like there's a movie where this happened. What's the movie where like the thing was like?
It made me think of Ghost in the Shell.
Oh no.
That's what it made me think of.
That. I mean, there's a movie. There's a direct analog, and I can't think of it off the top of my head. Maybe I'll think of it eventually. Hey, it's not the smartest thing.
Stupid.
It's also a Pokemon movie. Let's be honest.
It is also a Pokemon movie.
Yes.
But it's not the best Pokemon story either.
No, I
just don't
I like this better than if they just tried to do like the show. Like,
sure.
Like if this was like a 10-year-old being like, it's me, but also
and it's
like
hard.
It's a 10-year-old but being played by like a 19-year-old. Like, it's me, Ash Ketchum. I'm here to play Pokemon.
It's hard because they have to like make we have to like make a Pokemon movie.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the like when people think big time Pokemon like cinematic big stakes, we need like a thing, it's Mewtwo.
Yeah.
What's the Mewtwo story? The Mewtwo is like he fucking comes out of the lab and it's all like, you get the Mewtwo beats, right?
Yeah.
But you can't tell Mewtwo Strikes Back because you don't have a set of characters that are already established that you can go through the story with.
Mm-hmm.
So that wouldn't even work. Because I would have just preferred Mewtwo Strikes Back in live action. I would have loved that personally.
Well, they're making Mewtwo Strikes Back in CG.
I don't want that.
Well, they are, and it comes out this summer in
Great.
Japan.
Love it.
It's literally the exact same movie, but in CG.
Dumb.
Right.
It looks bad.
Dumb.
Well, the Pokemon look fine, but the human people look weird. Like Ash and Misty and Brock, they look weird.
Anyways, I don't like Justice Smith that much.
Really? I liked him a lot.
It just seems so green. It just felt so much like a kid's movie. I know that's weird saying it. Like, it's a Pokemon movie, George.
It's
just
PG.
It just felt so silly and dumb in a way that just felt not that smart. Or, like, come on, guys. You can do better.
Yeah.
You can draft this.
No, I definitely get that. Like, there are kids' movies that are, like, surprisingly, like, smart and thoughtful and have those things for...
Pokemon the movie 2000. Pretty fucking good. The Power of One is a good movie. That's what I'll say. The world shall turn to ash, Ryan.
No. It doesn't make any sense.
Turn to ash.
That was a... Because when you're like 6 and watching like oh my god, it's brilliant. And then
that slow
24.
king is all like, it's you, you're Ash. You're like, oh fuck. Anyways,
the earth shall turn to bread.
Yeah.
What?
Anyways, this movie is about. So it takes place in a city where like, the Pokemon and the people. Like the Pokemon have jobs.
Work together.
They work together, but the
together.
Pokemon I assume don't really have like they can't earn their own salaries.
Is this like a Flintstones situation?
Yes, it is. The city's exactly like a Flintstones because it starts off in a city like the Pokemon. We have people and there are Pokemon out in the wild like any other. But here like they're like working at the fucking ramen shop or whatever the fuck. And it's like a New York looking thing.
There are crossing guards.
There's like crossing guards, and like there's a whole company like Mark Zuckerberg, motherfucker, and his dad are like, we love the Pokemon. Psych. The guy's trying to, it's a dumb convoluted.
It'd be
Pokemon.
like that sometimes.
Anyways, I think
sometimes
this is like
it be like that.
This
George.
feels like
sometimes it be like that. All right.
Okay, right.
It feels like a pilot to me. It felt like a pilot.
And I like the idea of it being a pilot, and then I feel like the ending kind of makes it very difficult for it to be a pilot. You know what I mean? Like how
Can't
do you
make another one?
How do you like move on with these characters?
No, that's the thing.
Again.
Leave him in the ditch. Just forget about him. Forget about him because you ended the story perfectly. I don't need to see Justice Smith anymore. I don't need to see Ryan Reynolds' dad being like, haha, I remember when I was a Pokemon. Whoops. Spoilers. Anyways,
Like, I would have been pissed if I was
It's not that bad.
It sounds so stupid.
Listen, again.
What if you just woke up and like, my dad's Ryan Reynolds? He's got a dad beard.
What fucking movie is it? Oh my god, it's killing me. I swear the movie is a direct analog to this. Anyways, yeah, to me...
He's trying to find his dad, but his dad... Sometimes, maybe his dad was with him all along.
But yeah, I think I would love tell any story, ditch these characters in the gutter for me. Just tell any Pokemon story. Just not this one.
Because they nailed like how they look and how to like
Yeah,
put them
it's
in
just
like
a
a
pilot.
world.
Like fucking
Here's our.
I
test
assume
drive.
Nintendo didn't give him a long license, sort of like the Godzilla situation we'll talk about later. Let's like, you guys got like 5 years, because I don't trust you fucking Americans a single second. So y'all better.
I think it was
turn
mostly the Pokemon company.
What's that?
I think it was mostly the Pokemon company, not Nintendo.
Oh yeah, you're right.
They
Yeah,
do-
it
they
is.
do
It's
their
totally
own thing.
Pokemon Company. But anyways, like I'm saying, I don't know how long the license is, but this felt like a pilot to me. I don't know. It looks cool. I wish the writing was better. I wish the comedy was better. I like Mewtwo. Mewtwo was cool.
Mewtwo was
I'm kind of
fun.
bummed they just used them. You saw there's a Lugia balloon. That was
There was a
cool.
Lugia balloon, yes.
I have an important question.
Yes.
Were
Yes.
there any bear Pokemon in this?
No, they.
What the fuck?
Snorlax was in there for
That
a
doesn't
minute.
fucking count.
And also the weird thing is like, in Pokemon I get it. Like every region has their set of like native Pokemon.
Yeah.
But it was just weird how like they were clearly like, no motherfucker. There's not like one species of another Pokemon here. Like there's only these like 30 Pokemon here.
Yeah,
That's it.
I get that.
That's it.
There was a lot of that. Like, oh look, they're using that Trico model.
Yeah,
again.
exactly. It
And
felt
look,
like a
you
card.
know what? I totally understand because those are probably really difficult to make. So let's use the ones we got.
And also, we can't spend like all of our like cachet now.
Yeah. When we make our next movie, then we'll be able to use.
Oh,
These
look, it's
existing
Sobble,
models.
everyone's
Sob-
favorite.
Listen,
I like Sobble.
I just want Beware. That's his name, right?
Yeah, beware.
I like Teddy Ursa.
Ted.
Which is
I mean,
the
that's
small
good
one.
too. Yeah. Or I like the bigger
Yeah, I know
version
the-
of Teddy Ursa.
Ursaring.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big
I don't know
bear.
what his actual name is. I just know him as Beefy Nut.
Beefy Nut.
I
I think Detective Pikachu is fine and fun, and seeing all the Pokemon made me very happy.
I'm
and
sure-
sometimes I'm sad, and by sometimes, most of the
seeing the
time.
Pokemon made me very, very happy and warm, but everything else.
I'm sure the ending was not as stupid in context, but just hearing that and nothing
Well,
else
because
about the
I think
movie.
it's less stupid because you see it coming.
Oh, that's fair.
Right? Because it's all like they don't show the dad's face ever in flashbacks.
Oh.
Ever.
This is always
No,
like
it's just like a
shoulders down.
black, like there's just a shadow all over him. And so at that point, I'm like, oh, duh. It's not like a twist, but
That's
yeah.
funny.
Because when that happened, everyone was like, oh, look at Ryan Reynolds.
I was expecting it to be more of like he finally looks at a picture, it's just Ryan Reynolds, like his stock, like
Yeah.
I'm auditioning for a movie photo.
Yes.
Instead of just him showing up like, it's me, your dad.
I'm your dad.
Like, whoa, my dad.
I'm down for more Pokemon movies. I just wish they're. Man, it sucks that I'm not a big Marvel guy, but I was like, man, at least those like are written. They are written to a
Yeah.
level, and they take themselves serious to a level that this doesn't, which is fine.
Do you wish it took itself more seriously?
I
Or
think
do
so.
you think it should
It
have
doesn't need
got
to be
more
more
silly?
serious in tone. I just like you don't have to be like Minions DreamWorks level sometimes,
Yeah.
guys.
I don't know about that.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know why the Apums look so fucked up still, but
It's because they would.
I guess.
They would.
Anyways, that's Detective Pikachu.
Speaking of dads,
I was gonna make a dead dog thing, but I was like,
Oh.
I can't. I got nothing. John Wick 3, Parabellum.
Parabellum.
I really need to watch the John Wick movies. I
Pastabellum.
still haven't done it.
Carrie showed me the first two,
You liked them?
like the day after you watched Chapter 3.
I mean, you know, I wanted to see it right away.
So how is this, Carrie?
I really liked it.
I think people
It
like.
was a blast.
I haven't heard any bad things about it.
It was awesome.
From
Yeah.
my understanding, from someone who's just recently seen John Wick 1 and 2, you know, I saw them in a row, so it's kind of bleeding together. It feels like they like get crazier. So I'm imagining this one probably just goes up another level to
yeah.
one that is very weird.
Wait,
And that sounds
wonderful.
fun.
It's
Well-
awesome. So basically, the plot of these movies, it doesn't super matter.
Well, so like
but-
there's a lore, right? Like they established that there's lore that there's like these assassins,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this whole like.
And
Yeah,
John
there is
Wick,
a-
and John Wick is basically like, you don't cross John
Yeah,
Wick.
he's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the guy. He's
There's
like
an established world here,
Yes.
and it's very cool. Like they have the assassin hotel. where
John
you
Wick is
can't conduct business.
very much a
and-
video game character.
Yeah.
He's all like the BJ Blazkowicz, like fucking Doom Marine guys. Like, oh man,
Yeah.
that guy. Like even like the bad guys, like who were like with other bad guys. Like in the first movie, because it's like the son of like the boss who kills the
Yes.
dog, right?
Yeah.
And his dad's like, man, you fucked up.
Really screwed up. He was like, I wanted to kill the dog. You should not have killed that dog in particular, though. You're on your own.
So, I guess that's all the context I have for John Wick.
Yeah, and then, so in the second one, there's a guy who has this, like, coin pact thing with John Wick, and he's like, it's like a blood pact thing, and he's like, I need you to do this, and John's like, I'm not gonna do that. So then he has a bounty out for him, and then he kills someone on company grounds of the hotel, so then everyone's after him.
Right.
And at the very end of the movie, the Ian McShane guy, I believe, is just like, there's a notice that goes out, and like everyone around him just stops and looks at him, and then it's like, psh, and then they keep going. It's like, oh fuck, and so he's like, you have 10 minutes or whatever, or no, you have like an hour, and so then he just starts running, and then the third one starts with him running.
So,
within
well,
his
you were
last
saying,
hour.
so it ends.
He has an hour before the bounty on him goes live, and everyone around him can start killing him to try and get the $14 million.
That sounds like a cool setup for a movie.
It was awesome.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's basically just him.
This sounds like all killer, no filler, though. Also,
I don't give a shit.
well, what is it that I guess what I'm asking? Is it like, because it sounds like 2 like ended like the rising action, and then 2 is like, all right, we're fucking going now, just start.
I think that I think it has enough filler in the fact that Keanu Reeves has enough charisma that you just care about him because it's Keanu Reeves and you want him to win. And you have these returning characters who you like Ian McShane and Laurence Fishburne and what's his name? The other Lance Riddick, the guy who does the hotel.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
But apparently his friend John, what's the police officer's name?
Oh, like Joe, I think,
Like
or something.
Joe. That was my favorite part of the first 2 movies. But it's like,
evening, John.
Evening, John. So you working tonight? Yeah.
All right.
And he just moves on. And he comes back in like the second one, like, were you working? He was like, yeah. It's like, all right. See you later, John.
Yeah,
See
let's
you
say,
later,
is that
Dave.
the guy who's like, I'm gonna go home now?
Yeah. Just like the one cop shows up and is like, all right, I know not to do my job. Because
you're John Wick.
Because he's clearly, there's so much history that's clearly there.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about that.
No, I think that this movie is awesome, and the action set pieces are great, and they feel thrilling, and it keeps moving. I mean, maybe I wanted to see it a second time, but I didn't get a chance to, but in the moment, it didn't feel like there was ever a moment that was dull or where I was waiting for stuff to get moving. It just felt great, and everything was choreographed and awesome, and there was a lot of characters. Like, there was a lot of stops that John Wick made to try and escape. Like, he goes to this like dance academy where it was like an orphanage that he was a part of, and they send him off, and he ends up with Halle Berry, and she has 2 dogs. Then there's dog action, and because in the first 2 movies his dog dies in the first one. In the second one, he just checks it into the hotel and it stays there the whole time. But in the third one, Halle Berry's dogs get involved in the action, and they're biting people and running, and it's great.
Okay.
But yeah, it's fun. I think it's a fun time. And if you like the first 2, you're going to like the third one.
That's the thing. I've heard no one being disappointed by this. So that's cool.
It was great. And it's very pretty. And there's lots of cool lights and things. Make my ape brain happy. But yeah.
So does it seem like we're going to keep on going with these movies?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
definitely.
cool.
The ending is very much so we're doing another one. And it was confirmed already, wasn't it? It
Yeah.
was like, there's like
come
a
out in 2021.
Yeah, there's a text thing that you can sign up for, and you can become a part of the Assassin's Creed or whatever the fuck, and they send you updates.
The Assassin's Creed.
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah. Oh, please look forward to the John Wick Compendium coming soon.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Speaking of super cool people with superpowers almost.
Oh, God.
Who are maybe morally ambiguous. Like, sometimes they're good, but they're also bad people, maybe. I don't know. Brightburn.
Brightburn. I saw Brightburn.
You saw Brightburn.
I wanted to see Brightburn.
Yeah, no need. Sorry to really drop the ball there. So you guys have seen Man of Steel, right?
Yes.
All right, same movie. Literally the same movie.
Is Michael Shannon there?
No.
Is Dances with the Wolves man here?
No.
Damn.
It's literally like they, Elizabeth Banks, who's really great in this movie. I think she's probably the best part, but she's, fantastic regardless. Her and her husband, they want to have a kid. People have made fun of this, but the very first shot of the movie is just like a pan of like their bedroom. There's like a dozen like how to conceive a child books, and it's like, first off, you only need one of those books. What is more than one of those books gonna, like, is there secrets and like all the books you have to decode them to figure like, all right, this is the position where we can nut and have a baby. Perfect. But no, it's stupid. They find little Clark Kent, Brandon Byers, in the woods, and they raise him like their own son, and they grow up telling him he's adopted. But then on his 12th birthday, he starts acting weird, and like the little glowy orb that he came down is like making all these like weird noises, like calling to him, and he starts being a psychopath and killing people.
Ryan, this sounds a lot like the television show Dragon Ball Z, but if Goku actually turned into, like, if Goku didn't hit his head. Yeah, if Goku didn't hit his head on the thing.
And he became a crazy man.
Yeah. That's what this sounds like.
Didn't they drop that?
They dropped what?
That idea in Dragon Ball Z? Because there were eventually like other Saiyans who were not bad.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, never mind.
Well, like in Super, there's more Saiyans.
Oh, okay, well, great.
Which you haven't seen Super.
Anyways,
this movie, it presents itself as a horror film, trying to like go into like, what if a 12-year-old really had these powers, these abilities, and it doesn't do anything that like you haven't seen in like a Superman movie. It just paints it in like a darker.
And so that's the thing I've heard. I've heard from DC people who love this fucking movie.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah, it's like a Bizarro Superman sort of thing.
Yeah, but it just doesn't. It's not scary. Like there's nothing scary. Like it's gory. There's some like, and it's just like gross out like Saw levels of gore.
Oh, nice.
Like there's a part where a lady like looks up and a bunch of glass from like a fluorescent light falls, and one gets super in her eye, and she slowly takes it out.
I've seen professional wrestling.
It's gross. And then the one that's the grossest is a dude gets in a car wreck because of the kid, and like his whole jaw basically comes out, and he's like pushing it back together as he.
Nice.
It's disgusting.
Okay, no, this sounds great.
No, but it's stupid. There's nothing. It's not. It's just gross. There's no actual fear in that.
Yeah.
So what is it that doesn't work for you, Ryan? Is it just that it's like Superman but not?
It's also that it's slow, and it doesn't do anything interesting with it, and it doesn't like there's no flow to it. It just feels like a series of like, well, what about this? Wouldn't he be really creepy around girls? What if we explore that? And they did for 2 seconds. Like, okay, what if he hurt someone and then like he has to see a child therapist? And what does he do to the child therapist? And what if his dad wanted to kill him because he's clearly insane and clearly doing all these horrible things? And then what if he just did a bunch of Superman stuff and that's it? Like there's no like it doesn't feel like it doesn't flow like a movie would normally flow with like an act structure. It just feels like a series of like not escalating, but like clearly the next step, but there's no development, so it doesn't feel weird. It just feels weird.
Sound terrible. I'm gonna be with you.
I don't know.
And
Sounds
plus
that's what I gotta say. It sounds interesting.
And plus it doesn't. It's kind of told through his perspective, but like there's no the kid's perspective, but then it kind of switches between like the mom mostly.
Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah. And it doesn't really make sense as to like why he's doing it, because it makes it presents itself as like he's this normal, nice, kind of awkward kid, but then the moment he turns 12, he's like, I want to kill people and look at intestines. That's what I want to do.
I mean, that's just puberty, right?
No, it's not. And that's honestly the mom's excuse. He's just changing.
That's
funny. It's stupid.
Everyone turns into a serial killer psychopath when they're 12.
No,
look at
don't.
Ted Bundy.
Look, I did look at Ted Bundy. Handsome man.
Damn.
And it's just it doesn't do anything. Like it does, and the ending is so like, oh well, it certainly is the end of the movie.
It was Ryan Reynolds the whole time.
Oh, that would have been so much better. It's just so disappointing and not scary or interesting. And honestly, like Man of Steel does more in showing how scary those powers are than this movie. And also, it feels there's a lot of parts where it feels like they dropped concepts. Like, it feels like he has X-ray vision, but, like, they don't ever say he does, and he just is, like, bumbling around like an idiot sometimes. I was like, well,
You mean they introduced it, and then it's like, oh, we forgot we had this.
Well, it's like you can tell, like, in an earlier draft he did, but then, like, scenes later, like, well, if this scene wouldn't work if he had X-ray vision, so let's just ignore that.
Okay.
Because, like, there's parts where he's, like, they find, like, oh, he's looking at porno mags or whatever, like, girls, and they're, like, looking through, like, his stack, and there's, like, intestines, and they're like, oh, this is weird. Anyways, and, like, when I saw that, I was like, oh, maybe it has, like, X-ray vision, and he's, like, seeing that and doesn't, like, understand what that is. Like, exploring not, like, how to be a psychopath, but, like, trying to understand what he's doing, these powers that he has. But then there's parts where he's just, like, zooming through the house, trying to find his mom, just, like, like a bullet. And he can't find her. And, like, it feels like they had that idea. And then, like, well, if he had X-ray vision, then he would just find her and then kill her. So let's take that away. And then we drop it. Like, very badly drop it from the rest of the movie. Stuff like that.
Why is it called Brightburn?
He lives in a town called Brightburn. And he...
small...
Yeah, he lives in a town called Brightburn, but his super villain name is Brightburn.
Oh man, well that's not
This
cool.
it keeps making me think of the movie Burn Bright.
Yeah.
The one about the guy who runs the stepdad who runs a circus, and the circus is running out of money. So he tries to get the insurance claim on his stepchildren by killing them, but
basically the same
to kill
movie.
them, he releases a starving tiger into their house, and their house is all boarded up because there's also a hurricane happening. That movie's something.
All right. Well, I think I'm still kind of interested by the concept, Ryan, but I'm glad you went to go see this report on this motion picture.
Thank you for your time, Ryan.
Thank you. I saw it for free.
Thank you for your
Did
service.
you?
Yeah, I had a free movie ticket that I had in my desk for like 2 years. And apparently
Time to
still
cash
works.
in.
Exactly.
All right, well, that's Brightburn.
Speaking of cashing
Speaking
in.
of big time explosions and killing, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, baby. So it has been a long time since 2014 Godzilla. 5
Yeah.
years to be exact.
Yeah.
I rewatched it before we watched
I haven't
Godzilla
seen it
King
since.
of Monsters. It was
And?
kind of boring.
Yeah.
I rewatched it like a year ago, and you know what? Kind of boring.
I love.
It looks beautiful.
Well,
I
it
think.
is really pretty, but I love that first shot where they're shooting the flares and not
like in
the
the
one where they're
trailers?
not the one where they're falling from the sky. That shot's also really good, but I just like the initial one where they shoot the little light up red flares and it's just like barely, it shoots all the way up and then it's just barely the bottom of Godzilla's stomach and it's like, oh fuck, that is extremely effective. That's my favorite part of that movie. But yeah.
rest of
There's
pretty boring.
I don't know. There's a lot to talk about. I didn't rewatch it, I guess, before I say anything. This movie, so there's a lot going on here because in some ways this feels like the Batman vs Superman is like, we need to skip a few steps. We just need to get to King Ghidorah. We need to get to like X and X and X. Let's just fucking go. In some ways it feels that way.
Yeah.
And I was worried that they're gonna be like, at that point until recently, I didn't know their license expires next year, which is why we're getting Kong vs. Godzilla so goddamn soon. I was worried, but I think they do an okay job of it here, and they also still give themselves some rope in case Toho lets them do more.
Yeah.
And in initial watch, I fucking loved this movie so goddamn much.
Really?
That's what I said. In terms of like action, in terms of like what I want from a Godzilla movie, I loved it. The concept.
I agree with you. If you think of just the action, it's great. It's fun. It's cinematically pretty beautiful.
Listen,
in some parts.
Shin Godzilla, I get it. It's symbolism for like Japan's government and like socioeconomic status, and in some ways, it is a modern reincarnation of what original Godzilla was in the manifestation of an entire country after they get completely decimated.
And it's very good.
It's very good. I get it. But also, when you give Godzilla the license to Warner Brothers and they have $250 million, I want you to spend like a part of that paying for Vera, Farmiga, and everyone else's paycheck, and the rest, as much money as the visual effects artists you can throw at to make Godzilla cool as shit. And I think for that, it looks fantastic.
Fair.
I'm just saying maybe they could have
The second time-
hired a few less actors and then spent more time on the visual effects.
Do you think so?
Yes.
That's true.
Well, to add more of that.
Let me
is
tell
what I'm
you,
saying.
Millie Bobby Brown, a wonderful person, probably great. I think it's not. Sometimes it's not the best in this. Yeah, it's not the best. Yeah, it's not the best here.
Although I know,
I didn't
I
give
don't
a
wanna be
shit
mean.
about any human in this except for the
Let me
main
tell you,
guy.
Vera Farmiga, very good
The main
looking.
guy-
And very
Oh,
nice.
duh.
the main guy, yeah, I think with Millie Bobby Brown, I still have some sympathy from Stranger Things, so that carried over a little bit.
But the thing is, like, she's playing that character.
yeah, I
she's
know.
got
no,
one
no,
face-
exactly.
She's got one facial. I'm so sorry. She's
You
got one-
stupid child.
Yeah.
What are you, 12? Oh,
Yeah, exactly. And there are moments where, like, I don't know, where it helps, but some, like, when she's like, "You're a monster," it's like, yeah, okay.
But like, it's also they hired Sally Hawkins to kill her off immediately.
Right.
Spoilers.
Yeah, like, okay.
And like, why would you?
That's
why would you waste Sally Hawkins?
But that's the
If
thing.
anyone's gonna get control of these big fish monsters, it's gonna be her.
It's like
Idiots! Idiots!
knowing that their contract is expiring and that they're at the point where, like, okay, guys, we are at a crossroads because we need to, like, we got the license, we can do these things, our time is running up, and also, fucking hell, man.
It took us 5 years to make a second
Yeah, it
one.
took us 5 years
That's
to-
rough.
Yeah, and but wait, we still got how did Kong end? Did Kong fast? Because it took place like not in like 2014.
No, Khan ended with them leaving the island. Like, there's a lot
but it
more
didn't
of
take.
these guys.
It didn't take place in 2014 though.
No, it took place in the 70s.
That's the thing. So the Tom Hiddleston's still not on payroll, and Samuel Jackson maybe because he's never dies. He's just like, I fucking kill Kong, but
John C. Reilly.
Yeah,
If
it
anyone
ended,
returns-
it ended with John C. Reilly finding his family again.
and
didn't
like
it?
drinking a beer.
right, yeah, that's how it
Which
ended.
like good.
So like those people are also off the hook. So it's really just Millie Bobby Brown.
I think John C. Reilly might be able to turn as an old man who's still drinking that beer.
Maybe. My point
Which
is,
he should, because he was the best part of that movie.
I think for
If we're talking about human characters who don't work in this movie,
Ugh.
I would like to give a huge shout out to fucking Discount Rick from Rick and Morty.
Was that Bradley Whitford? Is that his
Yeah.
name? Fucking dad
He
from
was
Get Out.
he was the single worst part of this movie.
Yeah.
Anytime he said anything, I was like, ooh.
again for some
One of
reason.
my favorite parts is like when they're destroyed. Like, I'm just saying it's gonna be a bad day to be a Red Sox fan. Well, what's happening? I'm just gonna say things are gonna get real crazy. Say what it is. You're a scientist. Say what the problem is. What's your actual problem?
Listen,
Are you kidding me? Shut up.
I-
You're not a comedian. They hired fucking Silicon Valley dude to be a serious person, an actual comedian. This guy just shows
He
up
made
with
one
like,
goof.
Godzilla. Oh my Godzilla. Am I right, kids? Shut up.
They made Ken want.
Shut up.
They made Ken.
God.
They made Ken Watanabe say, "I got it from a fortune cookie."
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Oh.
Okay, and I need to say right now, again, when I first saw this movie, I fucking loved it, and I think the moments of Godzilla shit stand out incredibly.
They do. They really
They
stand out
fucking
incredibly.
redid the original Godzilla song, and when it fucking happens, it is incredible. I think the Godzilla stuff in this movie is some of the best Godzilla shit, and I love it so
yeah.
goddamn much.
Yes.
And honestly, guess what? It's okay. I think it's fine if it's a 6 out of 10 in terms of story and the Godzilla stuff is there. Because guess what? Most regular Godzilla movies fucking suck.
That's
Oh
true.
yeah.
They're terrible. And so I don't know. I'm kind of bummed that maybe saw it again because I was riding on the highest highs, but I don't know.
It brought you back to Earth. Like,
Yeah,
you know what,
dude, they
actually?
did so well by Mothra. Mothra looks so good.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was my one worry, because Mothra, a giant moth, how do you make a giant moth look good?
Oh.
And they did. It was
so
great.
They totally got it.
I was so excited.
Ghidorah looked great. Rodan looked great.
Ghidorah
Rodan sucks,
huge.
and he sucks in general. This movie did favors for the character.
Yeah,
of Rodan.
exactly.
Rodan's a funny boy.
My main problem with this movie since seeing it is it's become one of those movies where it's like, oh, the critics don't get what we want from a Godzilla
Yeah, I
movie.
know.
And you know what? Yeah, they get it. You want Godzilla action, and everyone has said like Godzilla action great, human cast, which is most of the movie sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, if you were to wait for like it to come out on Blu-ray and for someone to do a cut of just the Godzilla stuff, I'll watch that. That'll be great.
I don't
But you know
man.
what? the human stuff sucks, and that's why the movie
But the
sucks.
thing is,
okay?
let me tell you something. Most anime, terrible. Most of the anime character archetypes are terrible.
Let's not say things we can't take back,
Are
George.
terrible. I think this movie's okay. That's what I will say.
I'd agree with okay.
Again, when I first saw it, I was completely transfixed. I loved it so much. And I think part of me would still say, like, on a good day, it's like, I'd probably put it in my top 10. But
Dang.
I think, I don't know, like I said, I think, like, everything with that main guy is terrible. It's very cliche. It is, honestly, 1998 levels of Godzilla bad. Except it's not Matthew Broderick, which makes it a little bit more funny.
That's true.
It's not Hank... It's not fucking The Simpsons Hank Azaria on fucking Godzilla saying this is the worst disaster New York City has ever seen in the year 1998. There's like 3 cast members from The Simpsons in that movie. It's very weird.
Yeah.
How did we feel about this being a Michael Dougherty movie?
I'm glad Michael Dougherty...
Do we get any
How do we
Michael
feel that
Dougherty
Adam
out of it?
Wingard is doing Kong versus Godzilla?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot. That's a big downgrade.
Let me tell you what, Your Next is a good movie. That's all I'll say.
People certainly have that.
It's a good movie. I don't give a shit about Death Note.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah. What do
think-
you
I
hate him
think-
for?
What? Adam? Yeah, Death Note and him being a bitch on Twitter.
Oh, that too. Yeah, that too.
A bitch in the terms of like he can't take.
He always
criticism.
no. That's the thing. He always seemed like a terrible person. He always seemed like a terrible person. Always. So that I'm not surprised by. He was also whatever, and I don't even think he's on Twitter anymore.
Probably.
I
I think the Michael Dougherty stuff, like he does, like I feel like his vision is really in the Godzilla stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like he really didn't. I get the impression that he didn't care about the human stuff, but I feel like
He just wrote them some silly jokes.
or some silly jokes. I feel like that
because
was
it's like, man, how do you do a good Godzilla? Like Shin Godzilla is a good movie.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't if I wanted. Man,
how do you
I
do
want
it? How do you a good Godzilla movie?
Like, if I would say, if
Yeah.
I wanted a Godzilla movie, I'm going to tell you what, I wouldn't go for Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla is a movie with story and characters, and I don't like it all, but
it's like, do you want like original
Godzilla's
Godzilla
in that movie 3 times.
But the one time he is, and he's all googly-eyed and silly.
That's the best part of the movie for me,
Holy
personally.
fuck, God, same.
That's great just because it's like, oh my god, Godzilla. So you're like waiting to pay to Godzilla. It's like, I'm just like, Godzilla?
Right? Because with Godzilla 2014, like, looking back on it, it was the remake, like, Godzilla's coming back. And so it's like, Gareth Edwards clearly is like, okay, well, I need to set up, like, the sort of, the myth of this monster, and also, like, make the tragedy, like, he's destroying everything, and it's really sad to give weight and ground things, not immediately jump off the bat. And people dislike that, and I dislike it because it's kind of boring, and this isn't Godzilla 1950, whatever the hell, with Raymond Burr. Mm-hmm. So it just doesn't work. But I think, I don't know. I don't think this movie, I don't know. I feel like this wouldn't work without that movie, though.
Oh no, I totally get that, because
You need the heel Godzilla to go, yeah, you need the
plus,
story.
like, with that original one, it ended up not being Godzilla. It was the Muto things that were causing the problem.
Yes,
and
it's
Godzilla
true.
just showed up to stop them.
Yeah.
Because that's what he does, I guess.
Yeah.
Which, like, I know that he
Godzilla's a
became
security
that.
guard.
Oh yeah, no, he's like he's the Paul Blart Mall Cop of Earth. It's like, this is my planet, I'm gonna save it.
Yeah.
And that's what he did in this one, and it's fun. Like, again, like the human stuff sucks.
It does.
And the Godzilla stuff is
Also,
fun.
that's not surprising.
And it
Yeah.
didn't, and like I said, I didn't notice it until the
No,
second
because
time.
I
for
think
some
you
reason.
can make human stuff in a Godzilla movie interesting. And make it still be a Godzilla
You can make
movie.
it. I don't care.
I just think tone down, first of the amount of
I would have
people.
cut off a lot of the Millie Bobby Brown and Vera
I
Farmiga
don't-
stuff.
I don't necessarily care if it's not super interesting. I just don't want it to start to get annoying, and they started to get annoying in this movie.
Real quick.
Yeah. But I mean, I was still pleased with Godzilla and Mothra and all the cuties.
All the boys.
I think, they did so well by the monsters. Like, man, that soundtrack, the final fight, I loved the fight so much.
Soundtrack
Do you
is
think
really
there's
good.
so many people
Bear
who's-
McCreary, he's back.
Yeah,
I
he's
think there's
back.
so much people stuff because they spent so much money on the monster stuff that was all they could feasibly do.
What?
Like it's a big budget Godzilla movie, but it turned out making that
I think-
is more cost effective. It cost more than they thought, so they had like, We need more. Add more jokes. We need more runtime.
I truly don't think there is that much human stuff. It's just that the human stuff is bad.
Yeah.
And so like it just feels longer.
I don't know.
I really don't think
I don't know.
I've only seen it once. You've seen it twice, but I felt like it was like 30% Godzilla, 70% people.
I disagree completely.
Okay.
I think it's like 50-50.
Okay.
Like, especially when compared to the last year. I mean, 2014's Godzilla. Yeah, I don't know. I think
the problem with 2014 Godzilla is Bryan Cranston was the main character for the first third.
Like it was coming off,
and then it switched to
and it was coming
Aaron
off of
Taylor
Breaking
Johnson.
Bad, so he was like the hottest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like it just ended, so it's
Aaron Taylor Johnson
just sucks.
I think he can not suck.
He can, but like he's just.
I just don't think
he's a troop. He was just like Soldier Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boring.
And he's married to his sister.
Ew.
And I think ultimately Kong is a way better movie. In terms of like story, in terms of like, because I think Kong.
How do you think Godzilla vs. King Kong can work?
That's the thing I'm worried about.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do unless you add more monsters because they tease the more monsters.
Oh.
Because in my mind it should go. Kong should come before the fight with King Ghidorah. That's what in my mind.
Yeah.
In my mind.
I seeing this one, I honestly think it's gonna be a Batman v Superman. They're gonna fight for a bit. They're like, wait a minute, you, and then
We both know someone named Mothra.
yeah, exactly. And then there's gonna be probably like
two singing ladies.
Is Mecha Godzilla a thing? I don't
Yes, Mechagodzilla's a thing.
I know is Mecha Ghidorah a thing? Is that what I'm saying?
Yes, King Mechagodzilla. Yes.
Oh, okay.
That was the stinger. That was the stinger at the end. Yes.
Yeah, that's what the next one's gonna be. I think they're both.
I don't
gonna
think so.
Oh.
Well,
Because
they set up a few things. They set up a few things.
They
in that
can't
movie.
fight the whole movie.
The oxygen bomb.
Yeah.
That's the
It's coming in hot.
Desojoya.
It's coming in hot. Do they not know that's a meme? Because they said it like it wasn't a meme.
Yeah. So they set up Desojoya, which it's like that's the thing you do for the next movie. I think they throw like a jobber monster, like a throwaway bee monster. It's like fucking, he's gonna come in and he's like gonna get in between guys.
I want like the license.
Like who the fuck was that mammoth? Who the fuck was that
It was
guy?
Manny. It was Ray Romano.
They made the model.
Because I know the spider guy. He's a guy,
Yeah.
I think.
It looked like the spider from Enemy. If anyone's
It
seen
really
Enemy.
felt like because they were like there's like 21 monsters, but
They're all Mutos and they're all mammoths, guy. It's like
they're all
Pokemon
spiders,
thing.
yeah.
These are all like fucking 50 lickitungs in this room.
even though like
Godzilla versus Detective Pikachu.
you know what actually.
He just squishes him. Pikachu squishes Godzilla. I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Because like there's so many like Godzilla monsters.
And
So
the thing
I don't know
is-
why they had to make
And
up
the thing
a
is,
bunch.
I don't know. It's gonna be like a 3 years of Godzilla because we got the King Kong vs. Godzilla or Kong vs. Godzilla next year, and then we got the next Japanese one the year after.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know. I didn't like Shin Godzilla that much. I'm sorry, everyone.
I like it a lot.
Everyone's like, it's a great motion picture. I'm like,
I need to watch it sober.
I just don't. It felt too anime to me. At a certain point, like it started off serious and then it got too anime for me. But that's what I gotta say.
Honestly, watching Godzilla King of Monsters, all I wanted was a Mecha Godzilla movie. like
Godzilla
honestly,
sucks.
no, I get it. I just want to see it, like in like modern day CGI.
And also
I want to see a giant lizard fight a giant
Right,
robot
but the
lizard.
other thing is like Mechagodzilla, the normal Godzilla, is a space Godzilla. Mechagodzilla came from space from the aliens. Were like, yo, this Godzilla guy, we should make a robot version of him. And he comes down to the planet.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I want to see that.
Make a Jet Jaguar movie.
This is coming from the guy who hates Pacific Rim.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
No, because those are just giant robot people. This is a giant robot lizard.
Fair.
Controlled by aliens, though. I think it is. I think it's the same thing, actually. Anyways, Godzilla King of Monsters. I felt incredibly strong about it when it came out, and the second time I was like, you know what? I can see the criticisms now. Why people don't like it. The moments that are great are still
Very
fantastic.
Fucking Ghidorah with a cross in the back.
That was so metal.
That is
Holy
my
shit.
god.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
like I want that to be my fucking background in my computer.
Like there are moments where they recreate like
yeah, I'm religious.
the look. They recreate the look of the posters of the Japanese. Like it looks so epic. Like the part where like he like eats like a power station. He's all like, bah! That looks really cool. He lights up the sky. Anyways, that's a movie.
Speaking of lighting up the sky.
Oh yeah, Taron Egerton is here
Rocket
to
Man.
sing you a song. Rocket Man.
He's got such a nice voice.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a good singer.
Yeah, he has
such a sweet boy.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for his big hit, so maybe this will be it. Rocket Man, we're here. I walked in thinking it was like a straight Elton John biopic movie, but it's maybe more of a music. It's still that tells a story, but
I mean, obviously, this is gonna get compared to fucking Bohemian Rhapsody.
and they're certainly
There's
spending the
no
marketing
way around
budget
that.
to make it like that.
Yeah, exactly.
They're spending a lot of money on this
And
movie.
so, if I'm not mistaken, I think that Dexter Fletcher is the guy who took over Bohemian Rhapsody for Bryan Singer.
Oh.
Is that true? Can someone fact check that? I don't know if that's true or not. That I feel like I remember seeing the name Dexter Fletcher with Bohemian Rhapsody. But anyway, so those comparisons are unavoidable, but it feels like it hits a lot of the same beats just because it's a fucking biopic of a British gay rock star. Like it's
Right.
it's kind of the
I
same
typed
thing.
in Bohemian Rhapsody real director and a giant picture of Bryan Singer came up. It's like, that's not the answer!
Nope. But no, yeah, I really liked Rocket Man because it took the
Dexter Fletcher.
yeah
Yep.
okay, so same
Okay.
guy, and it took the skeleton of what were you gonna say
on directed by under Wikipedia.
see.
It's Bryan Singer, but then like has the asterisk A,
yeah.
and then you click on it, it's like, it was Dexter Fletcher.
But it takes the skeleton of the biopic that we all are familiar with and how you imagine that it's gonna go with like a young kid rises to stardom, strife, drugs, and it adds a lot of imagination to it. And I personally don't really know much about Elton John or his
Me
music, like way less than I did with
yeah,
Queen.
me too.
So it's like going in, I didn't know. I knew it was like some of the songs, obviously, like the big ones, like Your Song and Rocket
Tiny
Man
Dancer.
and Tiny Dancer, yeah, like the big hits like that. But a lot of the songs I didn't know, but I found them more compelling than the songs that I know and love were in Bohemian Rhapsody. But there's a lot of, like I was saying before we started recording, it's more of a musical-ass musical.
And Elton John's songs are more musical-ass music.
Yeah, his theatricality and his
theatrical,
stage
dramatic,
presence.
yeah.
So it makes sense that it's like that. And I just really appreciated it because it makes it more interesting because it's a biopic.
Sure.
But yeah, there's a lot of big dance numbers and a lot of cool choreographed stuff and a lot of really surreal imagery and choices that are kind of wild sometimes, but I just also appreciated that it had some imagination. So, and it's moving, and I didn't really know much about Elton John or his story, so it felt like a new story being unfolded for me that I didn't know where it was going, so it was good. And Taron Egerton is a fucking rock star. I love him. He was so good, and his singing was so sweet and nice. And it didn't feel like rose-tinted glasses the way Bohemian Rhapsody did. It actually felt like it was showing you his struggles candidly, not like, and then he went over here and did a bad thing, and ooh, oh no. But it's like, it shows you his struggles and why he was doing the things he was doing. And it was good. I would recommend it.
No, the fact that it is more creative is not just a cut and dry biopic really makes me... And the fact, like you said, his music lends itself to that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you're a fan of sunglasses like I am, there's a lot of great sunglasses in this
It makes
movie.
me kind of, I don't know, I feel like we may get a lot of biopics because...
for sure.
So I'm like, I guess the next big guy would be David Bowie. And I'd be like, I would want that to be done in a style.
Yeah.
But
I've been seeing a lot of people campaigning for Tilda Swinton to play David Bowie in a David Bowie biopic, and I was like,
You know what?
fuck
Actually,
yeah.
That's really good. But yeah, that seems like the clear next one.
Yeah, that'll be it. But
yeah, Starman. So there you go.
But yeah, I would recommend Rocket Man. It's interesting and feels innovative, and you feel like you're watching a biopic, but it's not
Good.
as much of a chore to sit through. Yeah. Like, I'm one of the people, I don't really like Bohemian Rhapsody all that much, but I still don't hate it the way a lot of people do. And that's probably a bad thing. I probably should hate it more.
What was the blowback for you, right? Or like the sort of praise it got from like the Academy and
yeah,
such that
it
made
felt weird that it was getting Oscars.
Yeah.
So
like this is
like
this
after,
is like if you nominated Polar for an Oscar.
yeah, after I saw it, I was telling our friend Greg, I was like, oh yeah, I saw Rocketman today, and he was like, oh, do you think it's gonna get Oscar recognition? I was like, well, fucking Bohemian Rhapsody did, I'm sure it could.
So it's gonna be nominated best movie of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to see it.
Quick side note, I just remember this scene in the original Godzilla vs. King Kong where King Kong shoves a tree down Godzilla's throat.
Yes.
Nice.
And I really want to see that.
That's the other thing. Like Godzilla and Kong was like a silly movie.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know.
Also, canonically, King Kong is very small.
Well, they
compared
fixed
to
that. They
Godzilla.
fixed that with this one. They fixed that with this one.
Will they though?
They fixed it with Kong.
Yeah,
It's
he's
fine.
fucking
He's
huge, dude.
massive.
And he wasn't even full grown in that movie.
I know that's the
He's
excuse.
a little boy.
But still.
Have you seen that illustration that someone did with Godzilla with King Kong and a little baby carrier on his chest? It was
You don't
so
want
cute.
that movie.
Now this next one, I think, I maybe feel the same way I feel about the way you feel about Godzilla, but like the opposite. Like you are more enthusiastic about this movie than I am. I like this movie a lot. It is Booksmart. Olivia Wilde, she's here. She directed a motion picture.
Yes.
Good to see her back out there because man, she had a. What happened? Did she like get blacklisted or something?
I think that was the.
That's the rumor that
Yeah.
like Hollywood kind of blacklisted her.
Like, she sucks. Why? She keeps asking us to do things humane for her.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Like the last time I heard it was like.
She was like, I can't work this day. I have kids. Well, I guess you won't work at all then, will you?
Yeah.
Just decide to have a baby, I get idiot.
Yeah, that's exactly. I remember it being like, and last time it was like, man, I sure would have loved that Tron 3 paycheck. That would have been nice. And then no. So yes, Booksmart, coming of age movie. Who is the actress who was in what's her name?
Oh, from Lady Bird? It
Yes.
was Beanie Feldstein.
Gotcha, Beanie Feldstein. So yeah, you guys want to set this one up?
So yeah, it is Beanie Feldstein and Caitlin Dever. I can't
think.
read it from here. I can't tell if there's an N or a...
Dever.
Okay. They're best friends. It is the last day of high school, and they both their idea from high school is like, we're gonna do our best. We're gonna get into great schools.
We're better than everyone.
Yeah.
And they kind of get that mindset through that
Yeah.
because like we want to do good, and then like, oh, we're better than everyone.
We're not partying like these idiots.
We idiots.
Give a shit about our future.
And then on the last day of high school, they realize that all the people that they were like, we're better than, also got to really good schools and like the same schools. Like, well, how? It's like, well, you know what? I love giving hand jobs, but I also got it to,
I got a 1560 on the SAT.
Exactly. It's like, oh. And the one that was held back twice got like an internship at Google. It's like, well, it's not Apple, but I'm making a $6K salary, so I can't. I was like, what are you talking about? What's going on?
So yeah, and
So then on their last, it's like, we gotta go to a party.
Yeah, and
we got to go to
they
a party.
want to go to this one specific party, but they just don't know where it is. So this
Yeah.
chronicles their entire night of trying to get to this party, and there's several wacky stops along the way.
And somehow the wacky stuffs get better and better. I'll say, this is my favorite movie of the year. I
movie's
love
great.
this movie so much. It's so great.
I feel like me and Ryan saw this together. I feel like we haven't had that much fun in the theater in a really long time.
No, but also not that much fun in a movie that was actually good.
That's true. We had a blast at Aquaman.
We had a blast. We had a
Every
blast
time you
with
and me go to
Careful
a movie
Wellness.
alone, we're like, this is the best movie I've ever seen.
You know what? Actually, except this time it
It might be.
Yeah. Oh my god, this movie's amazing. I love it so much. But like, truly, like, it's so heartwarming and sweet and genuine. Oh my god,
Jason Sudeikis. in
Jason
this.
Sudeikis is
so funny.
top dad in this movie. And Carrie made a good point where, like, you can't trust Jason Sudeikis.
Oh yeah, ever since Colossal became one of my favorite movies, every time I see
Yeah.
Jason Sudeikis, I'm like, that fucking asshole, I hate him.
I know he's gonna drive these girls to soccer practice, but
Fucking dickhead.
no, he's great. Willard, what was Will Arnett's line that
He's
I
like,
love?
honey, get into the crawl space. Our house is being robbed by supermodels.
Oh, that was Will Arnett.
He does it in the most, like, his, like, SNL character was, oh my god, honey.
No, it's not Will.
No,
Arnett.
no,
Will
it's not.
Forte.
Will Forte,
He
yeah,
used to
not
hang out with
Will
Will
Arnett.
Arnett a lot. Yes.
Oh no, they went to the same parties.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
And
But no,
Lisa,
it
and
was
Lisa
Will Forte.
Kudrow is also in this.
Lisa
for a
Kudrow
bit.
is the same mom. But yeah, it's so good.
I really like this
So
movie
good.
as well.
Billy Lord coming out of
She was so funny.
She's so great. I don't know what to say. Like, it's so good. I just want people to see it.
Just get out there
Just
and
get out
watch
there and see it.
Booksmart.
Just watch Booksmart and have a great time. Have a great time.
So for me, this movie just kind of felt like it was fun. I thought it was
Yeah.
very funny. But for me, it also just kind of felt like a coming of age movie. And I don't like.
Do those not?
It used to be my favorite genre, and I think it's one of those genres that I think for a lot of people when it hits so well. And they say like for anything, like I think that's why people like To All the whoever the fuck.
To All the Boys. That
Yeah, because it feels personal. It feels sort of like they are taking maybe parts of your own upbringing and like putting it on the screen for some folks. And I loved Easy A, and I loved when I think there's Long Hairs Breakfast Club was my favorite movie of all time. I saw it when I was like 13 years old, and I was like, this is the best thing ever. And then I saw a bunch of John Hughes movies, like this is the greatest storyteller of our time. And then I grew up, was like, those are very good movies, but like that genre kind of never evolves past that, and like that's the beats. And for me, I think like this is a very good one of those, and that's I think the actresses do a fantastic job. I think the falling action is better than most, and because I think you can see it from a mile away, and I think you can still see like it's a coming of age movie. They're gonna fight, they're gonna make up, but I think when they do it here, it's very well done, and I liked it a lot. It was really heartwarming, and I think where the characters go, specifically Caitlin Dever, forget. Yeah, I thought her arc was really, really good. What's the name of who's the Ronnie Wachowski looking motherfucker? I liked him.
Jared.
Yeah, he was the best. I love that
was
guy.
hilarious.
He was
Fuck
Fuck
Jam.
boy.
yeah.
Fuck Jams.
His Fuck Jams playlist.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I like to listen to the words of powerful women before I party.
Yeah, he was probably my favorite part of the movie.
He was great.
He's great. Again, he was, Ronnie Wachowski, fucking
That's amazing.
That's Ryan Wachowski's little brother.
Yes.
Who's trying to be the best Roddy can be. Oh my god.
But yeah.
Ronnie can't refuse shots. Everyone knows that.
But yeah, that's I think it's very good. I don't think I feel as strong as you guys, but yeah, it's very good.
I loved it. I just loved the way that their friendship is shown, and it just feels like a real friendship. Doesn't feel like a movie friendship.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing, I couldn't tell. Like,
Really?
Maybe I become that cynical. Like, I become
Oh,
that
no, George.
cynical that I'm like, I think this is well done, but this also is maybe not. I can't tell because I can't tell because just like the way how cynical being online, the way like brands try to be relatable and stuff. Like, I know someone is telling me a story, so I know from the get go. I don't know what
Our
it is.
Xbox controller has the trans colors on.
Yes,
Isn't that
exactly.
great? We love the game.
But I know Olivia Wilde
Please
is
buy
coming.
this controller.
Is like it's not going for that at all. But I think just for me personally, maybe it didn't connect. That's probably it. Maybe I'm just too cynical. And
I never thought that maybe you hate women, George.
Maybe I don't know.
You know what? Maybe.
It's-
No, you're saying I do hate them.
Hold on.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Kind of. It's I like the supporting cast. Like I said, the supporting cast is fan-fucking-tastic in this movie.
Ryan, how did you feel about there being a lady named Ryan in the movie?
Big relatable moment there.
Pretty lady.
Pretty lady. Biggest plot twist of all time when Ryan and Nick.
And Ryan was like, "Oh yes, my dreams
My
are coming
dreams
true."
come true.
Can we talk about the pool scene? Because everyone loves that pool scene. Where she's at the party and she's finally like,
No, yeah, you made it
Coming
sound
out
like
of
you
her-
don't
Oh,
like it.
yeah.
though.
"Oh no, I was just
Okay, I
gonna
thought you
be
were
like,
teeing up.
Fuck shit." No, but I was gonna. I just thought that would be a talking point that we could be like, because it was great.
Again, it was a great moment.
I just liked the song.
The song
I
is
like-
good,
And
man.
it made me think of 8th grade, because they used that song in the trailer for 8th grade.
I think I'm just and look,
Except the pool scene was a little different.
So here's the thing. Like, I don't know what it is. I mean, I think that when that happened, I was just too cynical again, and it just did nothing for me. And like, this is shot so well, but the moment, like, I kind of feel sad for her because I wanted that thing to happen for her as well.
Yeah.
But then I don't know. And this is the thing. I love 8th grade. 8th grade's fantastic.
Ooh.
I love 8th grade so much. And I don't know. Maybe it's because it's not a teenage coming of age story that felt so much more exciting and new to me. And like, I was like, yes, I'm 100 on board. And I don't know.
The cringe is stronger than the not as cringe
Yeah,
in this movie.
yes, that's me the whole time. You just posted cringe, you're gonna lose subscriber.
Yeah.
But that's
I don't know. For me, it's like when they finally got to the party, like you have that feeling because like, I've seen a movie before. I know something's gonna happen, and like when I realized that, like being the movie person, I was like, I don't want anything bad. I love these people so much.
I just want everyone to be happy and the movie can end and no one's upset.
Yes, that's what, and like I haven't felt that way about like
But thankfully,
main characters in like a long time.
And I think like a lot of coming-of-age movies do that, and when the following action happens, and sometimes it doesn't make sense.
Oh yeah, it's
But
like
here it makes sense, and it's done, and it's when it happens, it is an explosion. So
oh yeah,
it's done very well, and they hang on it for a long ass time.
Oh yeah,
it's not like a little bit of sad notes like start coming. It's like complete silence, and they just let the fight tell itself.
That was a great scene.
That was a great scene.
Can we talk about the most relatable thing I've ever seen in a movie?
Oh my
Ryan
God.
knows what I'm going to talk about. So this part of their journey to get to this party, they end up at a pizza place because they're gonna ask them where they delivered this big pizza delivery to, because their theory is that there aren't a lot of 15 plus pizza orders, so they can figure out where the party is based on this pizza place. And the guy, the driver, is grabbing the order, and he picks up the receipts, and he's like, 2 half sausage, half cheese pizzas is just the same as 1 sausage pizza and 1 cheese pizza. And I'm here to tell you, listener, as someone who works at a pizza place, that happens almost every fucking day. And I had never felt so seen in a movie.
I have never seen Carrie react to a joke, not in like you laugh really hard, but also like, yes, okay, yes, finally. Someone gets me, who also happens to be the Riverside Strangler. I mean, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course I related to the serial killer. All right.
Oh my God, that was
so funny.
His banter with the girls was one of the funniest things.
You just got into my car? Are you stupid?
I could be driving you down to the river and just killing you. Just put a bag over your head and killing you right now. I could be doing this. Like, yeah, you could. Oh my God! And when they got in the car with Jason Sudeikis, that was one of my favorite scenes.
That was a very good scene.
Is that Cardi B?
Is that Cardi B?
God.
Oh
Yeah, Booksmart.
I feel like
I love this movie so
yeah,
much.
I could tell that me and Ryan liked it so much because when we were driving home, we were just like, do you want to like just watch Booksmart again? We just wanted to watch it again immediately.
I just want to get more of our friends together and share this funny movie with them.
Funny times. Yeah, it's a good movie.
Mm-hmm. I haven't checked like how's it doing.
I've heard it's been not doing great.
Well, it came out the same day as like.
Well, it didn't.
Aladdin.
It
came out the same week as Aladdin.
Yeah, that was the big thing.
Yeah, that was the big thing.
I'm really glad none of us saw Aladdin.
And it's also it was also Annapurna, who is on hard times right now.
I'll say
The
what
video game thing is the most profitable thing they do
Yeah.
right now.
Here's one thing about Aladdin I'm upset about. People who say like, I liked it. I don't like that. I don't like that people liked it. Yeah, it's the same as Aladdin, but I liked it. Shut up! Don't like it. What's your problem?
Oh, you're talking about Aladdin?
Yeah, Aladdin.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know the Pink Ranger's in that movie, so
Yeah?
I'm glad she's getting work.
I will support the Power Rangers cast in everything.
Yes.
Except for the Red Ranger who's in Stranger Things with
Yes,
a very
he is.
bad bullet.
He is in Stranger
I stopped
Things.
watching Stranger Things.
That's fair.
That's fair.
I couldn't give a fuck.
Well, that's
It's not great. That first season was good though.
I watched the first season.
It's very good. I should just rewatch that when the third one comes down. That sounds like a better plan.
I watched it because I remembered I saw Stephen King tweeting about it. And he's like, you know what, this is a pretty good show. And then I was watching it, and they just referenced Stephen King all the time. Like, no wonder you liked it, you ass.
Yeah, I think that was a bit.
It was so funny.
So Ryan, do you want to talk about this next movie? You put a footnote in here. It's the latest Into the Dark installment, which is Hulu's sort of horror anthology series.
Yeah, All That We Destroy. This is their May Mother's Day.
Oh, I was gonna say Mother's Day.
Mother's Day, May. The idea of this one is all about, like being a mom and what you would do for your child. Like, this is my child. I would do anything for my child. And basically, her child happens to be a serial killer.
I was gonna say a superhero with evil powers.
Well, and it's kind of told in like this weird like non-linear storytelling thing where like it keeps flashing back to the first like horrible thing he did, and the mom trying to like stop him from doing that in the future. basically, he killed this girl. He really killed this girl. And the mom happens to be this scientist with the ability to clone people. And she stole a cloning tank and has it in the basement. So her idea of being able to make her son not kill anymore is to clone the girl that he killed.
Right.
So he has the ability, when he has that like desire to kill, to release that anger onto this clone of this girl constantly. And you know what? It's really bad.
Psycho.
It's super
Pet
bad.
Cemetery.
Yeah, exactly. And then like he meets this new neighbor girl, and like he like falls for her, but like she knows that like he's gonna kill her. It's like, you can't be around that girl. I made this girl for you to kill and to love.
Hey, clones.
Ryan, have you seen all of these in the series?
No, I kind of skip around. I started watching I'm Just Fucking With You, but then like one scene happened. I was like, I'm not in the mood for this. So I don't know. I think I see like every other one, pretty much. Like if
I forgot
if the idea vibes, and I don't know. I think I was just bored one night.
Is Puka still the best one?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can say that without even having seen.
Puka is the best one.
Puka finally got the taco party that they've been campaigning for. Have you guys been following?
Yeah, I have been.
Puka, like in February, Puka tweeted this thing and was like, if this gets 1,000 retweets, we're gonna have Hulu's gonna throw us a taco party. Retweet it, bitches. And they finally got it like last week. It was awesome. And then Puka had some tacos.
Yeah.
Shout out Puka.
Yeah, shout out at Naughty Puka on Twitter. How is that Twitter account still doing well?
Because.
How does that one intern who's running that Twitter? Good on that intern. But yeah, All That We Destroy. Really bad, really dumb.
I enjoyed hearing the concept from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds wild.
It makes you feel, because like, it tries to make you feel like, because like the original girl is like this like party like drug dealer girl, but then like when she gets killed, she like doesn't really remember anything. So
she's dead.
Because she's dead, and like was reborn as like a clone.
Oh, okay.
So she like doesn't really get what's going on, and she doesn't like is like so confused, like sad. And is like, well, you're a bad person, so like you deserve to die. You deal drugs. How dare you? It's like, you know what? Shut up.
Got him.
How dare you? Live your best life. Deal your drugs.
All right. Well, that's All That We Destroy. It is a motion picture you can watch on Hulu.com
for free if you pay for the subscription.
or have Spotify. They throw Hulu at people like
a lot. Yeah. If you're Spotify or Sprint for a little bit, they let you have it. That's how I got it.
Real quick, I want to just say that I saw Happy Death Day to You, and I liked it a lot. And that's what I'll say. I liked it a whole lot. Anyways. June. Did someone put the X-Men in front of Dark Phoenix? Isn't it just Dark Phoenix?
It's just Dark Phoenix.
Oh, I thought it said X-Men on the
No, it's fine, but it's just like...
I'm sorry.
I'm mostly pointing out how stupid it is that it's just Dark Phoenix.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, they have the circle of the X. That's how you know. Symbol. Dark Phoenix. Remember Dark Phoenix from the comics?
Yeah, that's a great storyline.
Yeah, I'm told that.
Beloved storyline.
I've never read it or know anything about it.
And
I've just seen it from the movies.
It's just like,
if
we're going to do it.
It's probably... Well, it's out as a recording.
Right now, we're not watching it.
It's very bad.
We're not watching it. What's the reviews? Is it bad?
I think it was like a 17%.
Nice.
Yeah.
Please let these people off contract and let them see their families.
I mean, they are. This was the last X-Men movie of this franchise.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah.
Although apparently the New Mutants is still happening.
It
comes out next year. It was on Disney's like slate because they have a lot of movies, and it's coming out next year in like March, I think. And it's gonna be reshot again. So maybe it'll tie in with like the current Marvel stuff, if that's the point. I feel like you'd have to. Like, what's the point of even releasing the movie then?
What was the first one? Is it New Class?
First
Class?
First Class was the first new one.
First Class was a good movie.
First Class is probably one of the better X-Men movies.
Yes. Days of Futures Past was also pretty good.
Yeah.
And then
Apocalypse
was not good.
Yeah.
And then this one, oh boy, from what I understand.
Well, I'm glad these people get to see their families again. The real WWE situation. Just please let these people go. Secret Life of Pets 2. The pets are back.
Woo! For some reason, Louis C.K. isn't in this one. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. He must have fallen off the map or something. Maybe he was busy that day.
Anyway.
Kevin Hart, thankfully, is still in this movie, though. Thank God. So happy. He's never done anything bad, right? Anyways.
This movie looks dumb. I just
I
couldn't
enjoyed
remember.
the-
I was gonna say, I feel like. Did you see the first one?
No, I wanted
Oh,
to.
okay.
I enjoyed how the animals look. That's it. That's all
it?
my concept. That's all I got. No, I didn't see it.
Nah.
It's just a part of Garfield, the movie.
Is there next? Have they announced they're making another Despicable Me after this?
Yeah, probably.
And then it's Mario time. Mario time, baby. It's
Mario
elimination.
time. Right?
Actually, I think they're making Minions 2, and then I think
Then
it's
it's Mario time.
Then I think it's Mario time.
Mario time. E3, baby. That's what's gonna
I'm
happen.
really upset that studio got the
Mario
license.
time. Who else who would you give it to?
Anyone
They're all
else?
cursed.
Sony Pictures Animation. I'd rather they.
That's
had
true. Depending on who you talk to
It.
that day.
Depending on which team is working on it.
Which side of the line?
Yeah.
We have the Adam Sandler line and the good guys.
Yeah. Late night. Emma Thompson
Looks fun.
is like
She
talk
is.
show host.
Yeah, she's like a Jimmy Fallon type, but I assume she's a little better than that. But her sets and her show has gotten bland, and they need to hire some new interesting writing talent. And then they hire Mindy Kaling, and it's her struggles with this new job and trying to keep it from all the people who don't think she deserves it. It looks like it could be funny, and I like Mindy Kaling.
Mm-hmm. And Mindy Kaling is playing Mindy Kaling.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So yeah, that looks alright. The Men in Black International.
Do we care?
You know what? I like both of those people a lot.
Yeah.
I
So
do.
I think I'll see
Like the Men in Black was like, why Sony? You gotta give it up, my guys. It's not the 90s anymore. You need to stop. Why are you doing this?
Like hell it isn't.
This license, you need to stop. It's done. Nobody cares about the Men in Black. But then they attach these people to it, and people care now. So, is the director of Fate of the Furious? Which
Probably one of those.
I cannot tell you how much it hurts
Oh.
my soul that that series is kind of dead to me now. It makes me sad.
Hobbs and Shaw comes out this year.
Fucking goddamn.
Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw, the official title of that movie.
If that movie ends with fucking.
Go on.
If Han comes back in that movie, that's the only way that movie is okay in my book. Like if he's alive. Oh no.
Oh no.
We brought the Dragon Balls and we fucking brought him back. I don't fucking know. He was in the hyperbolic time chamber the whole time. The dead don't die. This movie looks fake.
yeah.
I'm so excited.
This movie
for
looks
this movie.
fake.
Yeah, the trailer for this movie came out on April Fool's Day, which I think was a mistake. They shouldn't have done that because I had the same reaction
This
when I
is
first
real?
watched it. It was like, this is a funny SNL skit.
Yeah, me too.
Ghouls.
The way that Adam Driver says ghouls, demons, ghouls. You got your Jim Jarmusch cast. You got fucking Adam Driver. You got Bill Murray. You got Tilda Swinton. Yeah.
She's
She's like a Scottish morgue worker, I think, but she's also a samurai.
yeah.
The reception of this from people who I follow has not been great, but I don't care. I'm still really fucking excited for this movie.
It also seems like a very cheap project apart from the probably paychecks they paid the cast.
Yeah, probably.
You know what? I don't care.
Yeah.
I've been watching a few of Jim Jarmusch's movies. I watched Patterson, which was the movie about Adam Driver being a nice bus driver who writes poetry, and Broken Flowers, which was about Bill Murray trying to find out who wrote him a letter saying that he has a son. Tilda Swinton's also in that movie. And Only Lovers Left Alive, which Ryan recently watched.
I've seen that.
It was so fucking good.
It's pretty good.
I love that movie so much. So I'm excited. But I don't know if I care about zombie movies at all.
Yeah, that's the
But I want to
thing.
see this guy's take on a zombie movie, because his take on a vampire movie is just like
Sad.
pretentious, sad vampires judging people.
Yeah.
Just chilling.
So yeah, the zombie concept's not. It's like the cast is so weird that I'm like, sure.
Yes.
Toy Story 4. Around the apathy for this movie is incredible, and it makes me so happy.
Yeah.
People
crazy.
don't give a shit.
The thing I liked
It's
about
great. I love it.
The thing to go ahead a little bit. The thing I like best about Toy Story 4 is all the Child's Play ads of Chucky destroying all the toys from Toy Story 4.
I did not
looks
know
hilarious.
that what's her name is in Child's Play.
Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, I had no idea until I saw it.
She's the mom.
I didn't see the trailer. I just saw a post. It's like, oh, fucking shit.
There it is.
Anyways,
And
Toy
Mark-
Story 4.
Oh, sorry.
No. We want to talk about Child's Play?
I mean, I don't care about Toy Story
Me
4 at
either.
all.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. They fucked up,
Do you
and I'm
think
glad.
it'll do- do you
I'm
think
glad.
it'll
Hope
do-
they learned a lesson.
But what? But how did they fuck up? Like, I don't even like. I see the trailers. Like, yeah, it looks like Toy Story. I like Toy Story.
But nobody cares.
Yeah.
It was great.
How did this happen?
Yeah.
Because like they made the most definitive end
Yeah,
ever.
the ending of 3 was like I've only seen the third one once, and I remember thinking that it was a good ending, but it feels cheap now that they're doing
I'll tell you
another
about money, baby.
one. That's true.
It's a bummer.
Wait, guys, like art is great, but have you ever thought about making money?
Hold on.
If I'm to make a wrestling analogy, it
Oh,
feels
shit.
like when the person retired, but he didn't save any money during his wrestling career, and so he has to come back once because the IRS is looking for them because he didn't pay any taxes on his things. So he's back, and it's just really sad. And that's what this feels like
Woody
to me.
didn't pay his taxes.
Woody didn't pay his taxes, like Yoshi. Him and Yoshi didn't pay his taxes. Anyways.
Child's Play.
Oh wow! I didn't know it was actually this month. Oh, great,
Yeah,
cool! I
same
can look
day.
forward. I
It's
can
the
look forward to
same-
something this
It's
month.
the same day as Toy Story 4.
Yeah, that's why they're doing all the competitive marketing and stuff.
Well, them as in Child's Play and
Well,
Toy
yeah,
Story 4.
Toy Story hasn't retaliated.
How do y'all feel about Child's Play, the original motion picture?
I like it a lot.
I liked it a lot as well. The thing is, I think it would have been a better concept if it was through the whole movie, you weren't sure if the doll was actually alive.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
Because the beginning of that movie is so goddamn good, and then it's just like, I'm gonna fuck you in the asshole, bitch. And it's like,
No, because like the beginning, like you see him put his soul in the doll. It's like, okay, the doll's haunted, and like I wish you didn't really see that. Like maybe like there was like news stories that like implied it, and like, huh. And then that happened, like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you in the ass. Like, okay, whoa. But like with this one, like it's gonna go there, so it's like, okay. So how do you have that tension of like, I think my doll's haunted, but maybe Aubrey Plaza's just not having a good day.
Isn't the setup in this one that it's like a rogue AI thing that goes weird?
Yeah.
So it's small soldiers.
Yeah.
And Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill is
playing
Chucky.
Oh, that checks out.
Yeah.
It chucks out.
I should watch the trailer for this once we're done recording.
Yeah, it's all right.
You know,
The Child's Play franchise is I know like the Child's
it is
Play
a
fans,
bizarre.
like the cult following really hates this because apparently the guy who's like running the Child's Play stuff is like not involved at all. So like this isn't a real Child's Play movie. Even like that dude, like when he got like his creative liberties, has made them bad, like real bad. Like Cult of Chucky is awful. Like it is tremendously bad. Curse of Chucky has cool moments, but then
that's the one I think I heard good things about.
yeah, it has cool moments, but it felt more of. But there was a good gap of time to make that feel cool. Mm-hmm. But then Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky are like, ooh. Seed of Chucky especially is like, ooh.
It's like bad. It's like South Park fucking.
1 and 2 are good, and then 3 is just kind of disappointing, I feel.
Yeah, I think I saw 3. I definitely seen 2. And I thought
Yeah.
the concept was that the one where they like melted the thing.
Yeah, 2 has like the cool parts in like the toy factory.
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
And then 3 is all at like a military camp, and he's trying to put.
I've seen that too,
and
then.
he's
Yes,
trying to put
I've seen
his
that too.
Body in another kid.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
That one's weird because it came out like the year after Child's Play 2, but yet there's a 10-year time gap.
Oh.
So it's like, huh? Weird.
Is this Child's Play also shot in Chicago?
Probably.
That's the one thing I remember about Child's Play 1. I was like, oh yeah, that's a. But like the part of Chicago that I'm familiar with, not the downtown, but like the impoverished people, like this, like the quote unquote scary part of Chicago. But like the part I'm familiar with, like, oh hey, that's cool. I'm excited for Child's Play. Well, I haven't seen the trailer yet, but I enjoyed the concept from what I've seen so far.
We should rewatch Child's Play. It might be fun.
Yeah.
Carrie, don't give me that face. It doesn't translate in the audio format.
Cool. Are you not excited for Child's Play, Carrie? I am. Yeah, I guess I kind of feel that way too. Listen, I got nothing here.
This month is
I got
kind of
nothing.
bleak. I'm very excited about Dead Don't Die, but otherwise,
I like a good remake because they're either like, oh, interesting, and also like, oh, that's very bad. Like it's always interesting.
That's true.
It's always interesting to see like the corporate like team be like, all right, how are we gonna make this different and for the modern age? AI. Let's make Freddy Krueger just a straight up pedophile. Let's make what's another?
Put him in Mortal Kombat.
Let's put in Mortal Kombat. Let's just play Mortal Kombat 9.
That's better. That's probably better than Friday the 13th. Yeah. Actually, man, I need to watch the Friday the 13th movie because in my memory, when you and I saw it, Ryan, I was like, this is just pornography.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
no,
this is just pornography.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. That one has like this because it begins with like just a movie. Like it has a cast of characters and they all die immediately, and then just has another movie.
Oh yeah.
And then I've read since then. Like a few years ago, I read like some guy was like the intro to Friday the 13th, 2009 is brilliant, and I was like reading. I was like, this sounds bad though. You're describing it in like a good light, but it just sounds bad, and it is bad. That movie's bad. Yeah, let's watch porn together, George.
Sure.
That movie has a porn scene.
It's just got a lot of it's a lot.
nice.
Yesterday, life was such an easy game to play.
Musical movies.
Now I have to go and hide away from this wonderful motion picture. Actually, this seems like a really high concept. This is a sort of like it's an artist who like lives in a sort of world where he's the only one who realizes that the Beatles he knows the Beatles music and no one else does.
There's
right?
a power outage and he gets hit by a taxi, and then when he wakes up, his girlfriend had given him an acoustic guitar, and from what I've seen in the trailer, he's sitting at a table and he starts playing Yesterday, and they're all like, wow, when did you write that? And he's like, I didn't write it. It was like the Beatles. And they're like, who?
He starts singing the fucking song from Destiny 2014. God. Yeah, I don't know. It's a really high concept. It could be really stupid.
It seems funny.
It seems really something. Yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of doll movies.
Why are we... No.
Oh, here we go.
No, I refuse.
Here we go.
I haven't seen a single trailer from this apart from a social media post, so this movie doesn't exist.
It looks
George, after we record, we're going to watch the Child's Play trailer and we're going to watch the
both
other
doll
dolls.
trailers.
Please make it stop.
No.
Stop.
You know what? I take it back. I am excited about something.
Stop. Please.
Annabelle is hot off her cameos from Aquaman and Shazam, so she's here. She's ready, and she's ready to please her audience.
They released the last Annabelle around this time as well.
Probably.
And I remember this because a bunch of video game people went to the movie theaters. They saw the Annabelle. Like, man, that movie fucking sucked. Why did we go do that? Oh man.
Every time there's an Annabelle movie, I just hear people just like on the street, like Annabelle, oh my god, that's so scary. Remember when the doll went, but the doll didn't. It doesn't move.
Didn't do anything.
It never moves. Why are people scared of this doll?
I was talking to my friend about the Collector trilogy and about how the third one's actually coming out and how we're excited. And he said something like, it feels like one of the closest things we have to like a new horror icon about the guy in Collector. And I was like, I think you're forgetting about Annabelle horror icon. And he's like, for the love of God.
Oh man.
I hate the Conjuring universe so much.
No.
Yeah, again, every movie franchise and every horror thing, eventually they'll be more bad than good.
This one has had more bad. This has always had more bad. If you're talking about the Annabelle franchise itself.
No, it's all bad.
Annabelle's very bad, yeah. No, but this can't be worse than La Llorona. It just can't. I'm holding out.
I think this is
Could
gonna
it be worse than The Nun?
I think this is gonna be.
I think La Llorona is way worse than The Nun.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I need to see it then.
This is kind of
Because I didn't care about it at all, ever. And I cared about The Nun a little bit.
It had one metal scene and you were like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And this has Patrick Wilson. And this is the first time we'll be seeing him since he was Ocean Master.
That's true. You know what? You got me.
My
there.
guy is making the Reef, right? The Aquaman. He's not coming back for Conjuring 3, right? I think we've had this conversation.
Yeah, I think so.
What a bummer. That's how all horror franchises go. It just feels weird to see the trajectory in front of my face.
I mean, Annabelle was never good. Though.
I know.
It just feels like a weird spin-off of the good one.
Even Annabelle in the Conjuring movies has not been good.
No, well,
like the intro part was like
the first time you see it, it's cool. Yeah.
Enough that you'd be like,
no,
let's
like
make a movie
the
franchise.
idea of it is cool. Like, oh, a moving doll, that's scary. And then they did the movie with like, oh, that's actually bad because the doll doesn't actually move. It's just a ghost that like lives around
Just
the
fucking
doll and fucks
Bagul.
with
It's
things.
a conduit.
Man, it's about.
That's not scary. I want a doll that moves.
I think it's time we make Sinister at this point.
Oh,
We're at the time.
I mean,
how old was Sinister 2? 2015?
Yes, I think so.
Sounds right. 'Cause I don't think we did this podcast.
No.
So it was year 15. I had 14.
that sounds about right.
Annabelle, a 2014 motion picture.
Oh boy.
And 2, they work in
Sinister
2s.
2. Yeah, Sinister 2.
So please look forward to 2021 for Annabelle 4. Anyways,
What would the next Annabelle movie be?
Annabelle comes
somebody fucking comes on Annabelle. That's the fucking thing.
Annabelle the sex doll.
Yeah, exactly.
Lars and the real Annabelle.
Yep, there we go. Finally. I still haven't seen that movie.
I watched it recently. It was very nice.
It is very nice. It's very good.
Anyways, that's all the movies that are coming out in June. Pretty slim pickings,
Yeah,
folks.
looks rough.
What do you mean?
Oof.
What do you mean?
It feels like things got spread out too thin this summer, maybe. Or I don't know, like it was like
I think
May
was
was too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is July Lion King?
July is Lion
Lion
King.
King and
Spider-Man.
Midsommar.
Midsommar.
I'm really excited for Midsommar.
Guys, I'm really sorry. That movie's not. I don't.
What,
Midsommar?
Midsommar?
It's not.
No.
I get it, Ariel. I get it.
Colts of George?
No. Well, it's me because
You don't like brightness?
So
You don't like how scary white
So the
people
director of The House of the Devil and what the fuck is his name? He did some of the he's one of the VHS guys. Anyways, he made a cult movie. And I didn't really like it much because I don't like the concept of cults in terms of like unless it's like a fully demon cult. Like a full demon, we're here to summon a fucking ancient devil man. That's cool. But they're like, it's all about like peace and like and then like drink the Kool-Aid and then you have a violent, very real death. That's stuff like yes, that's his man, Ty West.
Ty West. What was his cult movie?
It was the Sacrament.
Sacrament.
Oh, okay. Oh, I recognize that guy. Okay, yeah, I almost watched this.
Yes, and so that was like a sort of like
It's in my watch list.
so that movie is like framed like honestly, it's kind of framed like the Green Inferno, except it's not terrible because that's better.
Whoa.
But it's like, it's like a Vice documentary. We're gonna embed
Okay.
ourselves in the Bubba Da guys, and then
Very good cult movie. Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene. That's all about a woman who escapes a cult and like the psychological damage that did to her.
Okay.
Very good. There's not like a demon cult, just like a real like the manipulation.
And I just also
between
hate
that.
just how like our fascination with like true crime and cults on Netflix and podcasts. That's also my thing. But anyways, I don't know. I'm sure it's the one thing I have to look forward to in terms of horror. So I'll take it.
You're not excited for The Lighthouse?
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
Oh my god.
It's the new film from Robert Eggers, the guy who did The Witch, and it's Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson and they're lighthouse keepers.
That was at what festival was that at?
Cannes,
and apparently it's incredible.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm
Fuck
very
yeah.
excited.
All right. Never mind. Fuck me then. Cool. Excited.
And It Too.
Oh yeah, it too.
Hello. You
I'm-
better turn off this podcast.
I'm excited for fucking Jessica Chastain to get a train run on her. If I remember that fucking thing right. Great. Exciting. Anyways, that was Movies Not Real for the month of May. Ryan, where can people find you on Twitter.com?
At Mr. Kim Official, boy.
Hi. Carrie, where can people find you?
You can find me at KAR_E Lyles, LYLES.
And you can find me at jcruzalvarez26. If you enjoyed the show, please rate and review it on iTunes or just tweet at us. Or you can tweet at me at jcruzalvarez26 and just let us know that you like the show. It's good to know that I know people are out there listening, but it's good to, hey. Ryan was very loud during that Godzilla bit. That seemed unnecessary.
You know what?
You know what? Let's talk about the episode that just happened here. Ryan, I
look,
think you need to chill out.
I hated that character so much in Godzilla. I'm sorry.
Ryan is either inaudible or just too much.
Look, I have two modes, okay? Upset and upset. Okay? I'm sorry, okay? We all have a bit, and that's mine.
What's my bit? Wait, no, I want to know what my bit is.
I don't know. When's It 2, by the way?
September.
Ooh, that's a
think-
while
I
from
think
now.
September
Damn.
6th.
I thought that would have been a summer movie.
No, the first one came out around that time.
I don't remember. All right. Cool. Then we will see you in June, which will not be the most exciting month, but we will see Annabelle.
Or maybe the
comes
most exciting.
home.
Maybe we'll do some...
Maybe Annabelle Comes Home will be a great motion picture.
Yeah, that's certainly a possibility.
Sure.
I wouldn't put your money on it.
Maybe we could catch up on some other movies that we haven't seen from
Maybe.
the beginning of the year, and we can talk about those.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll do a whole hour-long podcast on X-Men Dark Phoenix.
You mean ex-women, right?
X-Women.
Oh my god.
God.
Anyways, until next time, we will see you then. Bye-bye.